Alright, hello everyone. This is the Crunchy Fat, and today I will be presenting a new what if while I'm waiting for the vote on what the next kaiju I should do is coming in. So if you guys want to participate in that vote, you can go to the last part of the Space Godzilla one, and then vote on one of the two ones. We currently have possibly Mechagodzilla, then we also have Mothra and Biollante. Anyway, this what if series is a new one, and it is going to be what if female Deku was the daughter of SCP-001. Now, for those of you who don't know, the 001 I'm talking about is the Gate Guardian right here. So, let us begin with the what if. So, in the My Hero Academia universe and the SCP universe exist in the same world. So, the only people who know about the SCPs and the anomalous objects are the top 5 pro heroes, so they're the only ones who are allowed to know this stuff. Anyway, let's begin with the what if. So, we'll open up with SCP-001 standing guard at the gates of Eden. And yes, I know that I know I saw the video of if SCP-0, the Gate Guardian, was an imposter or not, but I'm going to say that in this timeline it actually is Eden. Anyway, continuing. As SCP-001 is letting off a abnormal glowing, he's glowing a lot dimmer than he normally would be. As the researchers on site notice a small white light quite near SCP-001, and they're wondering how this is possible, because if you have read the Gate Guardian's file, it basically states that nobody can get within a kilometer's radius without either being told to turn around or being completely obliterated. As the white light would then fall to the Gate Guardian's feet, as it would then form into this girl right here. As the Gate Guardian then telepathically tells he tells the people he trusts the most, so he basically communicates it to SCP-343, who some of you may know as God. As SCP-001 would then say to God that he has had a daughter, and he's making a request to God, as the only request he will make from now on is to keep her away from the Foundation at all costs, even if it costs him his life. As God would say that he promises to keep her safe no matter what. As 343 would then teleport there and basically pick up Izumi, as she's currently like a small child right now, so she's actually like a baby. As 343 then teleports away. As the Foundation is confused, as they immediately call for a containment breach, as they then tell the O5 Council about what happened, including the new entity that formed from SCP-001, which they now designate as SCP-001-3. If you're wondering why it's -3, it's because 001-2 has been classified as his sword. So let's continue then. SCP-343 basically teleports them to Japan, into an area where she won't be found. As God then leaves Izumi on a doorstep as he rings the bell, and then teleports away. As somebody opens the door, as this would be, give me a minute, as the person who answers is Fuyumi. Now, in this timeline, Rei had managed to get away from Endeavor, and she had taken Natsuo, Fuyumi, and Shoto with her, since Toya had already ran off. So Endeavor's basically been looking for them this entire time. As Fuyumi would call out to Rei, as Rei would come to the door and see this fairly young child at the door. As Rei would notice that there was a note on Izumi. As she would look at the note, as it would read, Please look after her. Please look after Izumi, and raise her as if she was your own. As Rei would have taken Izumi in. Now Shoto's about the same age as Izumi right now, so they're both still babies. As Natsuo and Toya would come to Rei, as they would see her carrying a child. As they would ask the mom, who is she, as Rei would say, she is a little girl. I just found her in front of our door with a note that said to keep her safe and raise her as our own. So that's what I'll be doing. As Toya would then ask, what is her name then? As Rei would say that on the note it said that her name was Izumi. So that is her name then. As Fuyumi would basically be happy to have a little sister. As we'll cut forward a couple years to where Izumi is 4 years old, and so is Shoto. And Rei is a lot more mentally stable. Her mental stability is coming back from getting away from Endeavor. So she's about 95% stable. She looks stable, but there's still like that little 5%. As Rei takes Shoto and Izumi to the quirk doctor, where they're basically where the doctor tells Rei that Shoto has a very powerful quirk, very powerful fire and ice quirk, whereas Izumi appears to be quirkless. Now, if you're wondering why this happened, I'm just going to say it here. The Gate Guardian, or Michael, as people are calling him, Michael hasn't interacted with people in a while, so he does not know what has happened to humanity and how they've evolved. So Fuyumi still has the to joint in her toes, as he would then say that Izumi may never develop a quirk. As Shoto as Izumi is sort of like Michael, she doesn't really care if she has power or not. She's still gonna help protect people. As Izumi and Shoto would immediately get home, and as soon as the door shuts, these three pairs of wings and a halo form over Izumi's head. As Rei would be surprised by this, as the quirk doctor said that she might never develop a quirk, but I'm guessing that he was quite wrong. But then, since Endeavor was the number 2 hero, he didn't, and I said that the heroes never shared the information about the SCPs with the public. Rei doesn't know how Izumi is able to get her quirk. Get these wings. Anyway, we'll flash forward another couple years to where Izumi is practicing, like trying to fly with her wings, as she's like mainly flapping like the larger wings up here. As she then begins to like move a little bit off the ground, then she gets to the second pair, and then the final third pair, as she begins to take flight. As she is like currently like going up, and she doesn't know how to get down, as she's basically panicking at this point. As Shoto would create a ice spire up to Izumi, as he would run up to it and then grab her by her hand. As Shoto would immediately pull her in, as they would then head back to the ground. As Rei is basically panicking because her kid nearly went into the stratosphere. As Rei eventually begins to calm down, as she's just thankful that Izumi is safe. As Izumi then suddenly, actually we'll cut forward a couple months. So I'll say they're walking through the town, as Rei then sees Endeavor, as she then begins to have a panic attack. As Izumi notices this, as she's beginning to pick up Rei, as they basically begin to move out of the area that Endeavor's in. That is until Endeavor notices them and begins to give chase. As Izumi is basically like still trying to get control of her anomalous abilities, even though she thinks that's a quirk, it's not anomalous abilities. As Endeavor would eventually catch up to them, as they had moved into an alleyway to avoid being slowed down. As this was when Endeavor had lost track of them, as he would then continue to look around for Rei and that child. As they're in this alleyway, a man walks out from the shadows as he's holding a knife, as he's attempting to mug them. As Izumi's basically the man's basically threatening Rei's life at this point, as Izumi then summons this lance you see right here, as she then hits the mugger in the side of the head with it. Like, not the bladed end, but like the blunt end of it, as this would knock him out. as Izumi and as Ray would immediately pick up Izumi as they're to begin to run out of there. And that is where I'm going to end this part off. I do hope you guys enjoyed this, and for those of you who made it to the end of this video, would you guys like to see me cover other SCPs? Thank you all so much, and I will see you all next time.